Can you see?
Yes, I can see. Hi everybody. So I wanted to come on here and do a video for my 25th birthday. This video is going to be titled 25 Things I've Learned in 25 Years. And I have my friend Catherine here, who you can't see, but she's here. You'll hear her. So just so you know,
I am actually here. She isn't, you know, she doesn't have an imaginary friend.
Exactly. So that's who's going to be also chiming in on some of these things as well. So let's get started. Oh yeah, and we're in Positano, which is absolutely gorgeous right now. So the first thing that I learned is that you don't have to try so hard to fit in. So yeah, the first thing is you don't have to try so hard to fit in. I felt like when I was younger and in high school and college, I always tried to fit in so much, and I was the only person with a car, so I would tell my friends who were like, can you drop us off at the mall? Can you do this for us? Can you do this? And I wanted them to be my friends so bad that I would do that. And I was like, my mom would be like, you have shit friends. Like, everybody uses you. Like,
and then
my mom
pays for any petrol. So you're sort of like, you've dropped everybody home and your car stops in the
basically. And there was one day I was like, listen guys, y'all have to get gas in my car. Like, I'm not taking nobody nowhere without gas. But it's just like, you shouldn't care so much about like fitting in. It doesn't, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, because your real friends are going to be your friends regardless of whether you have things or have money or whatever. So you shouldn't have to worry about that really that much at all.
And no matter what you do, even if you try and, you know, make them happy, you still get judged for it. So
exactly. When you have real friends, they're not gonna trip if you can't drive them to the mall or something. They're not gonna trip about anything. You don't have to actually even try that hard to fit in with them, because it's just gonna be effortless, you know what I mean? So the second thing is, don't worry about being so trendy. Girl, I used to wear I might show you guys a picture actually from Facebook. I used to have this style where I would wear colorful skinny jeans and Jimi Hendrix t-shirts. That's all I wore in high school. Is color.
Is that the thing?
For me it was the thing, because I was obsessed with Woodstock and the Grateful Dead and Jimi Hendrix. So I wanted to dress a certain way. So I only wear
trendy.
I thought it was so cool. Yeah. And it's then when I got up older, you know, you go to especially if you're into fast fashion, which you shouldn't be, because it kind of sucks, especially places like Forever 21. They're terrible, but they are. But I used to shop at Forever 21, and then the stuff would fall apart. It would be nice, but only for a little bit, and then it would fall apart, and then you'd be like, SOL. Yeah. So now I feel I worry about dressing more timelessly. Shit out of luck.
Oh.
Yeah. so now I worry about dressing more timelessly, you know, I don't know, just dressing more for longevity. The clothes I buy now, I want to have 20 years from now. Yeah. You know, and I don't worry about dressing. Timeless. I don't just exactly. I don't want to dress oh, I have this hot pink tight latex dress that I can only wear in 2020 or 2019, and then 10 years from now you try to put it on and you'll look like a disgusting deformity. Yeah. It's why is this 40-year-old wearing a latex dress? I don't understand.
Imagine dominatrix.
Seriously, it's
a flamingo one. It's pink.
I'm not trying to look like Cardi B. I don't want to do that. So then, okay, so number 3 is that even if you can afford it, doesn't mean that you should buy it, because unless you can afford to buy something 3 times over, you technically can't afford it. It's a rule that I heard. It's when it comes to luxury items like Chanel bags or just anything shoes or whatever, unless you can afford to buy it 3 times over, you technically can't afford it, because you still want to have a nest egg in your bank account. You don't want to spend all your money on Chanel bags and then have $5 left.
And then if you're fat, then you become a skinny bitch.
Like you need to,
got $5.
yeah, you literally need to be able to have the Chanel bag and then have like $1,000 in the Chanel bag with you. Like you know what I mean? Like at least like that. You need to be able to buy it like 5 times over to actually be able to afford it. So if you can't do that when it comes to most things, that means you actually can't afford it.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have realized this when I was like 18, buying Freedom Couture hair that cost me like $1,000, and I couldn't afford it at the time, and I still did it, and I still regret it because I only wore I couldn't even wear the wig. I wore it once and threw it away.
What?
And I spent $1,000 on it. It was ridiculous. And I had put it on credit.
Oh my god.
I know. So, oh, this is gonna be another one. Don't put things on credit unless you can pay them off immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god. I wish I had told myself this when I was like 18. Don't put things on credit unless you can pay it off within like a day. Like, putting like things like for like thousands of dollars on credit, and then you're like, yeah, the end of the month. But if you can't, you never know what might happen or what might pop up, and then you have like a credit card bill that's gonna like follow you for the rest of your life and ruin your credit.
Yeah.
Like you have to have credit, so you can't ruin your credit by putting things on credit that you can't actually afford.
Yeah.
Like I did not know that when I was younger, and like now that I'm like 25, today I'm 25. I don't feel 25 though. I think another thing should be like you are how you feel, and if you feel like I feel like I'm embodied in my inside, I feel like I have the maturity of someone who's like over 30, but then I look and feel I need to brush my hair. I look and feel like I need to brush my hair. No, I look and feel like I'm like still 20. I still feel like 21. So you know what I mean? Like even though I'm 25, I don't really pay attention to how old I am.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a bit boring as well.
Yeah, because I feel like if you're constant, like I think it's exciting to be 25, but like I'm not gonna be mad at myself if I like throughout the year I'm like, how old am I again? Like, have you ever done that?
Yeah.
I feel like I do that all the time. So yeah. And then, oh yeah, so I think this would be 6. But number 6 would be, don't be a doormat.
Yeah.
You know, don't let people run over you constantly, because I feel like it's super easy.
Can I add one?
Yes.
And also, just because I'm not adding one, I'm adding to the fact.
You need to get closer to the table.
I'm saying that it's not, okay, saying you shouldn't be a doormat doesn't mean you shouldn't have tact in the way you address people. So saying sort of if you want to sort of confront somebody, you shouldn't just like go crazy and just sort of spill your heart out, have some tact, reflect, think about what you're going to say, and then say it, rather than just going crazy because you don't want to be a doormat, because actually the person won't listen to what you're saying or how you're saying it, which is kind of silly.
I feel like I always like think about what I'm gonna say. Like I have a whole conversation in my head before I even have the conversation with someone, just to like plan out exactly what I'm going to say first.
Like most people don't.
I think comment below if you guys think that you plan things out, you plan conversations out in your head first before you actually like have the, like I'll just be in my car and I'll just have the whole conversation in my head and plan it out, like, okay, if this person says this, then I'm gonna say this, and if this person says this, then I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be like, okay, I'm prepared for all different avenues of this conversation depending on what happens with it. So yeah. All right, so I think this would be number 7. It is save your money. No, but save your money. So basically, I wish I had learned this like at a younger age, because I didn't have a savings account for the longest time, and it's really important to save your money, because you can have a checking account, and I know with me, I like to have as much money as possible in my checking account, but then I never really cared about the saving account. You know, I was like, ooh, let me just keep adding to the checking account, let me just keep adding, and then I would be like, oh, savings account, it'll be there, at least I have it in my checking so I don't have to worry about it. But really, like, if it's in your checkings account, then that means it can go away in seconds. So the next thing on the list of 25 things would be invest in yourself. So through the years, you guys know I've had surgery, and I mean that was something I wanted to do for myself. I got my breast augmentation 3 years ago almost, and then BBL a couple months ago. And these are things that I did for myself because I thought they would make me happier, and they actually did. But I'm not saying you guys have to do that. When it comes to investing in yourself, learn how to do your makeup, learn how to do your hair, or hire people to like do your hair correctly so you're not going around looking like a crazy person. And then like invest in like, you know, your clothes. Make sure your clothes are like nice and chic. And I just feel like it's important to invest in yourself like outwardly, but then also like mentally as well. So like invest in going to school and getting a degree, and just like making smart decisions that can help you in the long run. Because if you're spending money on like classes to get your real estate license or classes to get your esthetician's license, that's going to help you in the long run, and I think that's better. So you have to remember to invest in yourself in things like that, not just like outwardly like with like Botox or like hair or whatever, but like mentally as well. Like you got to do what's like underneath all the hair. So, but no, it's true, right? So I feel like we should come inside because I can barely see outside.
Okay.
But
can't move the table.
I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think. Okay guys, so we moved inside just because it was getting kind of sunny and loud on the balcony, and I could barely like see what I was doing. I feel like my chin looks so oily. So the next, yeah, basically what I was saying is it's better to look classy than to worry about looking sexy. I feel like when people are trying to dress, like a lot of times with Instagram, a lot of like us are looking at these Instagram models that barely wear any clothes, that have like this perfect body, but like nobody in the real world wants to wear Fashion Nova every single day. Like that doesn't look cute. I don't know. What do you think? I just feel like,
no offense to Fashion Nova.
No, all offense to Fashion Nova, because they're fast fashion and I don't like them. I just feel like they copy everybody. It's like realistically you want to wear like something that's classier, that's going to hold up throughout the years, that when you're like 20 years down the line you can be like, oh wow, like I can still wear this dress that I got like 20 years ago because it still fits, it's good quality, and you know it was made with love and care, and not in like a horrendous sweatshop or something that like for like 5 cents and sold for like $10, and like it has rips all in it, which is what Fashion Nova has to me. I don't know. I'm biased. Bag. Yeah, it's like, you know, you want things that are gonna hold up, things that are gonna make you look confident. You want people, the best compliment that I've been given, I mean, at least lately has been, oh wow, you look really classy. Yeah. Like I had somebody tell me that, like especially when I have my hair in like a slick back bun and I was just wearing like a nice coat and like a nice bag, and you know my outfit was pretty simple, but it was like very like quality fabrics. Somebody was like, wow, you look really classy, and I thought that was the nicest compliment. So for me, that's the best compliment, is for somebody to be like, oh wow, you look really classy. Not so much as, it's not really a compliment when somebody's like, oh wow, you look so sexy. Like unless it's coming from your man, that's like nice every now and then, but I really prefer for people to be like, oh wow, you look really classy. Like I can tell like you know how to dress, you know. That's to me always going to be 10 times better. So then the next one is diversify your work options.
Basically, it's like multiple forms of income.
Yes, it's all about having multiple forms of income.
Or like side hustle.
Yeah, like for me, I don't want YouTube to be my job, like that I make like my main form of income from. It's a hobby first and foremost, but you can make money from it, and I do make money from it. But when it comes to like, I have a degree for something. I did go to school for a certain reason, so that if I want to, I could work in the field that I got my degree in, or I could go back to school and get my esthetician's license, which is what I'm going to do, and then go down a completely separate career path. Don't just settle for one form of income. Make sure you have multiple things to like back you up, because it's just going to help you in the long run. It's going to make you more money in the long run. Most successful people have multiple forms of income. That's just how it works. And when you can do that too, you'll be better off for it. So the next thing is, don't worry so much about always looking perfect. You never look as bad as you think you do. And really, I think I used to be so caught up in never leaving the house without makeup on, or never even like, you know, just like being seen by my partner without makeup, and it got to the point where it was excessive. And a lot of the times your partner really likes you in your natural state. They don't care about the makeup or the hair. So once you realize that you really most of the time probably look better than you think you do, you're gonna be happier off just like being able to leave the house and go to the grocery store without having to put a full face of makeup on and do your hair. It's going to save you time, and it's going to save you a lot of like effort. So yeah. So number 12 is to travel. Is to travel as much as possible. I mean, currently you guys seen where I am. I love to travel, and I don't feel like I do it enough, and I definitely want to do it more with my son and with like my mom, because I feel like my mom also loves to travel, but she doesn't get to enough as well. So like I feel like traveling, you get to meet people and you just get to see new places. But then the second thing to that, and it's a different number, so the next number would be to travel by yourself. Like, make it a thing to just go somewhere beautiful by yourself, because you're gonna find out like who you truly are. Like, you know, you're gonna be able to meet new people. What, you can be in this.
No, I'm adding like 2 pence.
You're gonna meet new people, and you're just gonna be happier off for it. Like, when you're able to be like, oh yeah, I went to this place like by myself, and I met some amazing people and had some amazing experiences, and you can keep those experiences for. But basically, you're gonna have some amazing experiences. You're gonna meet new people. It's gonna put you outside of your comfort zone, so you're gonna have to like kind of be a more social person. And I just think traveling by yourself is something that is really important, and a lot of people don't do, but a lot of people should do, because it's just, I just think it's like a experience that can change you. Like, also it can make you more like aware of your surroundings, and you know, it's a good idea. So just try to do it. So the next thing to go along with that would be to try things that you're afraid of doing. So for me, it would be like, if you're afraid of heights, try skydiving. Or what do you think of that?
Skydiving?
Trying things that you're afraid of doing. Like doing things that,
that's really good.
getting like outside of your comfort zone, right?
Or scuba diving, that's scary.
I've never been scuba diving, but
Exactly.
I'm not afraid of scuba diving. I just never been.
Really? I am.
I'm afraid of spiders, and I thought like what I had to realize is like living by yourself, you don't have anybody to kill things for you. So I had to like get over that fear by killing spiders. Even though every now and then I'll get like a good heart, and sometimes I'll try to save them. But if they're like the jumping spiders, then they have to die. I know. If they're the jumping spiders, then like I can't save them. But sometimes like daddy long legs, I'll save sometimes. But that is like the overall point, is that you need to do things outside of your comfort zone and do things that you might be afraid of doing, like skydiving and scuba diving like Catherine suggested, or I don't know,
Bungee jumping.
Bungee jump. Okay. Bungee jumping as well, I suppose. But it really pushes you, and like, you know, it helps you like just face those fears and get out of yourself, you know, get out of your head so much. I think it's really important to do that kind of stuff. Number 15 says, just because someone doesn't have the same opinion as you doesn't mean you can't be their friend. You need dialogue, or you'll become a dull dictator, or a dictator in general. But like, if you don't have people with opposing like opinions like in your circle of friends, it can get really like boring when everybody just agrees with you about everything. Like having like a, you know, a healthy dialogue about like politics or whatever isn't terrible. And it's like, one of my best friends has completely conflicting political views than I do, but I still love her and we can have dialogue. But what I tell her is, sometimes she doesn't make any sense to me, so sometimes I tell her, okay, I love you, but we just won't talk about politics. And you know, she's still my best friend. So I think it's really healthy to have conversations like that with people you love, or just like people you want to be friends with, because if everybody agrees with you, then it just gets really boring really bit. So then number 16 is, or I think this might say 17. It'll stay on the screen somewhere, 16 or 17. I don't know. It says stretch more, because when you're old, everything starts to hurt. And the more you exercise and stretch, the better off you're gonna feel in the long run. And that may sound really silly, but my back always hurts because I don't stretch enough. And when I do like Pilates and stretch more, I feel like $1,000,000. So just remember that. Don't forget to stretch and work out and exercise. It's nice to be important. It's more important to be nice. Kindness goes a long way. When you're a good person, it goes a long way. When you are a caring person, it goes a long way, and it shows. You might not feel like people give a crap about like your niceness, but at the end of the day, it's better that you're nice than being a hateful ass bitch. So yes, at the end of the day, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And I love that quote. It's on my Instagram actually, and I really believe that's the case. So then the next thing that I learned in the past 25 years is to say yes more, so that you can experience more. So if you get like an opportunity to like go to New Orleans or whatever for like a trip with your friends last minute, say yes to it if you can. And then you'll get that experience of going somewhere, the memory of going with your friends, or the experience of going to a new city. And it's just nice when you can like open yourself up to new opportunities and experiences by saying yes and being more of a yes person than a no person. And then number 19 is that you need to be somebody who does what they say they're gonna do and shows up when they say they're gonna be there. So the type of person that I am is, if I say I'm gonna be somewhere at 9 o'clock, or you say, hey, let's meet somewhere at like 9 o'clock, I try to be there at 8:45. I try to be there early. I feel like when you're early, and if you can, even like when you're going on a date, if you can be like earlier than your date getting somewhere, it shows the type of person you are. It shows that you give a shit. It shows that you care. It shows that you're prompt, and it shows that you are on time, which is a really important thing. And a lot of people don't understand how important it is to be on time and follow through. If you say you're gonna be somewhere at a specific time, be there earlier, or be there at that time. Don't make excuses. Unless you're in jail or your car like exploded or something, there's no reason not to be where you say you're gonna be when you say you're gonna be there. It's like, for me, if there's no real excuse, you know, other than the two I just gave. So that is really, really important to me, to be on time and to not like be somebody who says you're gonna do something and then doesn't follow through. That's really, really irritating. Okay, so then number 20 says, rather than saying no to quitting when it comes to like things, okay, number 20 is, when it comes to like trying new things and opportunities, when it comes to jobs and stuff, try things out. You might think that you dislike something, or dislike the idea of like working as a bartender or something like that, or having a specific type of job, but you'll never know until you try it. And you might try it and really like it, or like the experience that you get from it. So be open to saying like yes to opportunities, because at the end of the day, you can always quit something. You can always be like, you know what, this isn't for me, I'm gonna switch. You know, you don't have to be stuck. Like, just because you got a degree in a certain like area doesn't mean you have to work in that area. Trust me, I know. You can always like switch and like figure out what's right for you, because in my opinion, there's always time, and you have to do what makes you happy. You can't do what Like, you can't do something just because other people say you should, or just because you have a degree and you feel like you're obligated to. You have to do what makes you happy at the end of the day, but just try things out and try to figure out what it is that makes you happy as well. So the next thing is number, I think this is 21, and it says try to communicate more and argue less. It's better to not yell, and yelling also raises your blood pressure. It's just like, for me, arguing is a very ugly thing. I don't like to argue with people. I don't like to be really loud and combative with my words. If I can't have a concise, clear, communicated like conversation with somebody, I don't want to have a conversation with that person at all. I don't like when people try to get me to yell or try to raise my blood pressure or try to get me upset and out of like the type of person that I am. So I really feel like when you can just communicate properly and calmly, it shows your maturity, it shows that you're an adult and that you actually know how to communicate. So I really feel like, if anything, that's one thing that I do constantly. I do not let people, like, I don't like yelling, and I try to never raise my voice over a certain, like, what is it called, octave, when it comes to having serious conversations with loved ones or whoever. I really don't like getting bent out of shape and yelling and raising my blood pressure. It makes me really upset. So I just feel like it's better if you can communicate properly. You shouldn't even have to raise your voice. Even if you're having an argument, you shouldn't have to raise your voice. And I feel like if everybody communicated like that, we'd have a lot less intense arguments out there. So the next thing is to treat yourself, but don't treat yourself to where you don't have any money in your bank account. Treat yourself like, for instance, I am treating myself to this vacation. No, make sure you put yourself first. You know, I feel like there's always these sayings like happy wife, happy life, or happy mom, happy home, but those are actually like real life sayings. Like, if I'm not happy, nobody around me is going to be happy. So I have to make sure that I take care of me first, and that's why I feel like treat yourself can be like a whole like thing. Like, it's like a meme about like people spending out of their means or like beyond their means, but really treat yourself is just making sure that you're taken care of first, and when you're taken care of, everything else will take care of itself afterwards, you know. And it's not selfish, it's like super, it's like actually a necessity. It's not selfish at all, in my opinion. Then number 23 says don't feel bad about being ambitious. So yeah, it's don't feel bad about don't feel bad about being ambitious.
I think I said that like after 2 glasses of champagne, so I'm sober now.
Basically, you shouldn't feel bad about wanting to have like bigger goals and having like really nice things or things that you strive for that people think are out of your league, or you know that you shouldn't. Don't feel bad about that, because I really feel like when you set these goals for yourself, it's just because you know like eventually you'll get there, and you need to set really high goals for yourself, or else like you're literally not going to be going anywhere in life. So do not feel bad about being ambitious. It's actually a really, really good thing in my opinion. So number 24, you guys heard me say this already, everything happens for a reason and everything always works out. I really do feel like things always work out for me, and I feel like if you believe it, it's just like my level up video. If you really believe that things work out for you, they will. I truly believe that things always work out for me. Everything happens for a reason. And if you were to like go through a harsh breakup and like think that you like lost the love of your life, that happened for a reason. Or if you like got fired from your job, or you quit a job because you just weren't happy anymore, you did that for a reason, so that something better can come into your life. And that's really what I feel. I feel like, you know, just because like certain things happen doesn't mean it has to be the end of the world or have all end all, like, or whatever the case may be. I really feel like when certain things happen to us, it's just pushing us to do greater things or pushing us to meet better people, whatever the case may be. I don't think you should ever get upset about certain things happening to you in your life, because I really do believe that a lot of the things in our life happens for a reason, and it's just going to push us to be better and greater in the long run. Hope that made sense. And so the last thing on this list of everything that I learned was everything you have, you deserve, and you deserve everything and more, and you have to believe that. I believe it, and that's something that for the past couple of years of my life I've continued believing, and I've had nothing but amazing things happen to me in these past couple of years. You know, I've had some like ups and downs, but mainly ups, and even downs weren't that terrible. So I just believe like you only live once. You really have to make it a really good life, and you can't have any regrets at the end of the day. I mean, you can, but don't let the regrets hold you back. So anyways, hope you guys like this video. If you do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. And excuse my 2 broken nails. Gives character. Bye.